What's up, everyone? My name is Keisha, and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you all have had a great day so far today. I just want to come on here and give a quick word of encouragement for somebody and to just really speak to the circumstance for anybody who is battling or trying to navigate being obedient to God and feeling like nobody is truly supporting you or nobody is seeing you or you feel like things aren't working. I know that with God, things take time, and there is something that God is doing in the midst thereof of your obedience. So first and foremost, what I want to say is to keep going despite the support, despite the lack of views or comments or whatever, no matter how long you have been doing it. Because if I have to say so myself, I have been somebody who has been doing what it is that God has called me to do and feeling like the fruit is not really being seen on the outside. But I can really say that the fruit definitely is being produced within me. And that is really how God operates. He wants to work you from the inside out. He wants to change you from the inside out so that the things on the outside will begin to attract to what it is that you have within you first. I think that that is key and that is important because oftentimes we attract what it is that is within us. And so in order for us to really attract the blessings and attract the goodness outside, we have to first have that and be a certain type of way within ourselves. And so the scripture that I want to use for this video is in First Corinthians, I think it's chapter 1, verse 27, where it says that God will use the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. Or another translation says that God will use the weak things of this world to shame the strong. And what that means is that God's ways are not our ways. And so sometimes what it seems that the world deems foolish or the world deems lowly or things or people that the world overlooks, those are the very things that God uses to demonstrate his power and his might here on the earth. And if you think about the people in the Bible, the three examples that I want to give to you is Moses, who had a stuttering problem, right? That would be somebody who felt like God that could not be used to a certain degree because of his limitations of his speech. But God was able to use Moses' stuttering problem. And in that, he put the words in Moses' mouth. And that's what he was telling Moses when Moses was disqualifying himself. God was saying to him, listen, whenever you begin to speak, I will put the words in your mouth, which means that God will use his power. He would demonstrate his power through Moses one way, through his speech, right? And so you have to also think about Esther. Esther was somebody who was an orphan. She did not have her parents, but yet she was the queen. She ended up being the queen of her time. Esther, who most people would on this, like from a worldly perspective and point of view, right, would probably count Esther out because she was an orphan, right? But no, not God. God used Esther so mightily to be able to save her people, right? And then one of the most famous stories that all of us should know is David. David was a shepherd boy whom his own brothers counted him out and overlooked him. He was tending to sheep while they were fighting the wars. David wanted so badly to fight, but his father was keeping him in the fields, tending to the sheep. But it was in that where his training took place, because in him tended to sheep, he had fought a bear and defeated the bear. He had fought a lion, overtaking the lion. That's why when the battle came for him to fight Goliath, he defeated him while his training was in his process of being a shepherd boy, tending to the flocks of the field. But yet God raised him up as one of the known kings who Jesus came from. The seed of David is who Jesus came from. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you are somebody who feels overlooked, who people around you feel like can't amount to anything, or you won't be anybody great, I'm here to tell you that God can and will use you mightily if you let him, if you surrender to him, if you just keep going, no matter the circumstance, no matter what it looks like. God will meet you where you are, even with Moses. When Moses decided to leave the wealth of Egypt from the house of Pharaoh, he was in the wilderness for 40 years where God met him through a burning bush. God will meet you where you are to speak a word to you, to tell you how mightily he wants to use you, will tell you how greatly he sees you, even when other people might not see that greatness. God knows who you are. God sees who you are. And God knows exactly what it is that he has placed in you and the things that you are capable of doing. So for anybody who's been in a season of feeling like this is all for nothing, or what am I doing? Just know that it's your preparation, that God is preparing you. God is seeing your heart posture. If you're going to continue to be obedient to him, no matter what other people are saying, no matter if or whoever is not supporting you, God doesn't care about those things. God cares about your heart. God does not look at the outer appearance. God looks at your heart. So have a heart of humility, have a heart of obedience, and continue to serve God, continue to seek God, continue to do the will of God, and watch God raise you up. Watch God set you up above the very same people who doubted you or counted you out. Watch God get the glory out of your story, because it's not about those people. It's not even about you. It's about God doing what he wants to do through you here on the earth. So let God do his perfect work, and let God in his perfect timing show you what it is that he has been planning all along.